Hello, I'm Catherine Weller, Mrs. Weller, and this is Social Studies 7. I intend to try, anyway, to do all the PowerPoints not only just in PowerPoint form, but also to put them with an additional audio, and Miss Swanson and I will be alternating with this. And so what we're going to do, and we're doing it for 3 reasons. One is so that if you're absent, you can always go on and see what we did in class, and you'll actually hear the stories and get the instructions and all the things that you should get. The second reason would be if you were in class and you don't remember what was said, your mind went on a walkabout, and you want to double check. So you can do that. And then the third thing, so you could watch this 100 times if you needed to, although you'd be really bored by then. The third reason would be as a backup for me, so that if I suddenly get sick, then the substitute could show this and you would know exactly what it was I wanted you to do and know, and there would be no questions about what did the sub say. I'm getting sneaky now, you know. Okay, so we're going to start with the American Revolution, and you studied this in 5th grade, and so you're going to use a lucid chart if you have a computer, or you're going to do paper and pencil if you don't. So we're going to get that set up. You're going to create a tree map, thinking map, showing what you remember about the American Revolution. And this is sort of the pattern we'll be doing a lot this year. So you can go to Lucid Chart, and I'll wait for you to do that. Get your paper and pencil out. Now, when you've done that, so you can pause me for a second while you get ready. When you do that, the Lucid Chart is going to be saved in your Drive. So you're going to go to Drive. You're going to go to Moodle, log on, go to Drive. You're going to create a folder for Social Studies 7. And then you're going to share that folder with me. Okay, then we're going to go ahead and open the Drive and open Lucid Chart, and that's what you're going to do. Now, everything that you put in that folder is something that I can now see. And so that way, I'm going to arrange them all into a folder. So everybody in your class, all your folders, I'll have arranged so I can have them together. And so it should be an easy way for me to check your homework anytime I need to. And so just make sure that you save everything you do to Social Studies in your Social Studies 7 folder. Now, what you're going to do is you'll have, always we're going to use the same convention. So you're going to have period 1, your period first. 1.2a, 3.4a, 3.4b, whatever it is, you're going to have that first, then you're going to have your last initial, then comma, first name. Now, that's what you're going to always put so we know whose it is. Then you're going to come and say American Revolution, that's your title, and underneath it you're going to make 4 columns. And those 4 columns are causes. That's what we're always looking at. What caused this? What were the events? What are the things you remember happening during this? Who were the people? And what were the effects? And so we're going to start with what you remember. And to help you get started, I'm going to say, remember that one of the main people in the American Revolution was George Washington. Okay, so take a second. You can put me on pause if you're at home and write down all you can remember about the American Revolution. Okay? Then, now that you've done that, I want you to look at these, and we're going to see what we remember about this. This is called the Bloody Massacre. It was drawn by a guy that you've heard of, somebody called Paul Revere. And you can see that he's got 2 different groups. They've got, just like teams, they've got different colors. Who, if you haven't already listed them, put them down. And we're going to look at this. This is something drawn by Benjamin Franklin. Now, this was used during the American Revolution, but it wasn't done for the American Revolution. During what was called the French and Indian War, or the 7 Years' War. Basically, it was a war between England and France, and it was going on in Europe. Well, the animosity between the two, in England and France, over in Europe, spilled over into the Americas, and the French and their French Indian allies were trying to take over the British colonies. And the British, of course, sent troops and their allies with the Indians fought. And what Benjamin Franklin was getting across is that the individual colonies, the group up here, had to join together or die. So that's what that's about. Now that becomes very, very important because, as you know, wars take money. And so because of that, the British wanted to increase the taxes of the colonists because they had spent so much money protecting the colonies and keeping the colonies together, and so they needed money to pay for the French and Indian War. And as you recall, some people didn't want to pay more taxes, and it wasn't so much the money as it was the fact that they felt they didn't have a say in what was happening. It wasn't the rallying cry was not no more taxes, it was no taxes without representation. So the big thing wasn't the money, it was having a say in what happened. Now, so if you need to add anything to your tree map, do that. And we're going to watch a video called No More Kings. So put me on pause, click on it, watch it, and then add to your thinking map. Now that you've seen this, we're going to try something we're going to do quite frequently. So we're going to get this set up. It's a formative quiz, and you're going to type in and go to b.socrative.com. Now, if you don't have a computer with you today, take it on the back of your thinking map. You can write the answers to these questions. Our classroom will be 607-365, and the Socratic, or the number of the quiz is 123-01502. So let's try this. We're going to go here, and you're going, okay, I've already logged in. So the room number is 607-365. We're going to start a quiz. We're going to do the causes of the American Revolution quiz. And I'm going to do it student-paced so that you've got a chance to think about things a little bit. Turn your papers over and just see if you can do it. And I'm going to just put, okay, so I think we're ready to go. The students receive immediate right or wrong feedback, and you answer the questions in order, can't skip or change your answers, and I will keep track of what's going on based on that. And so, does it give me a place? Yes, it gives me a place to start. And so, okay, so the colonies in America wanted independence from what country? So I think I'll just let you do this on your own. Put your answer. And that's just going to show you how to do it. Okay, now, shot heard around the world. After watching the video, add to your table as always. Now, with the Declaration of Independence, we're going to listen to that, and we're going to look at the reaction to what happened. And we are also going to look at all the words, and because the words indicate what was important to them. So we'll watch this, and then we're gonna get away from this for a little bit, and we're gonna go into the textbook, and we're going to actually read the Declaration of Independence. After doing that and after talking about it, we're going to watch another video, Too Late to Apologize. You're going to recognize the tune, I think, those of you who know Lady Gaga. And then we'll talk about this. So put me on pause again. Now that watched Too Late to Apologize. Consider the people. You saw them in kind of a wild way, but when you look at these, you know, who are these guys? Who does this look like? Who does he look like? The red-haired guy, tall red-haired guy. And I want you to look at both who's here and who's not. Because one of the, you know, we'll talk a little bit about that. Who's here and who's not, and what does that suggest about America at the time. We'll watch one last little video on the American Revolution. And again, who are the different sides? What do they do? Notice that this side has a nice white X right on their chest to give people a good place to shoot at, which is not necessarily a smart idea. Who is he and what is he doing? And we'll get into, that's as far as we're going to go today. So you want, next time we'll look at the Articles of Confederation. So we're going to continue with the American Revolution, sort of thinking about what you know, and away we go. Thank you.